Hello everybody, it's Thursday actually, and May 5th, May 8th, I don't know where the heck I was going with this. It's the Fgeitas show, once again, here to deliver your video game news and your video game opinions, and your video game stuff, I guess, like video games. If you haven't heard of video games, this is a spot to be. With me today, I have a special guest here. The only man that actually heard and saw me running. Okay, it's retired Rene. How you doing, Rene? Oh, okay. Nope. No, you're not privileged. Now you're privileged because you were muted. My bad.
I was muted. That's fantastic.
Yep. That he did saw me. He did confirm he saw me running. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah. What I was saying is I saw Fgeitas running several times. Some of them unprompted. Just started running. It happens at least once a year, but it is a very special occasion, and it's reserved for people who are close to him. Here I am, I guess.
Okay, I'm making sound check live. I realized you were a little bit too low, but people still heard you. It's fine.
Okay.
This is what happens when you just don't know how to do this. This is what pro streaming looks like.
Yeah, and we set up this thing like 10 minutes ago. Not even 10 minutes.
10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
To be fair, I woke up today. I had my day off, so I began working with Photoshop, and my reaction today was basically just yeah, I'm just gonna do some testing stuff, some new text in Photoshop, and then suddenly I realized, oh shit, it's 2 p.m. Almost 2:15. Maybe I should take care of shit. So basically, setup was basically everything on top of me. But yeah, what's going on your life? What have you been doing? I know you've not been streaming lately.
Took the week off. I feel like I deserved it. It's been, as you know, 2 months of grinding in the Theorist channels. I feel like I had to, slow down a little bit. Wife's gonna start working soon as well, so we're kind of taking advantage of this time off and then she's gonna go back to work.
All right. She has a new job, right?
Yeah, she has a new job. It's looking cool, and we're excited. And also it's gonna allow me to slow down a little bit because I've been working a lot, and playing some video games, watching some stuff. We're watching Last of Us. We're watching Andor season 2, which is great. And we went to watch Thunderbolts yesterday, which was really, really good.
Right, Thunderbolts. What do you think of it? Actually, I forgot to ask you.
Yeah, I loved it. We went yesterday. We were supposed to go last week, but we went yesterday. It was amazing. I loved the movie. I felt I left the movies thinking Marvel is back. Like that feeling you get from a Marvel movie where you're like, bring me the next movies. I wanna watch. I wanna see what's next. I haven't felt this in a long way. With Marvel and yesterday, and not only just the setup, the movie itself is really well done. I think it's super. It's the characters are really good. The movie itself is super well paced. Music is great, and it's so funny. It's such a funny movie. So yeah, as a fan of Marvel that has been trailing off and just losing a little bit of interest, especially with how many of the series they've been introducing, I feel like this is like it feels like a comeback, which is great.
How did you feel about the spoil they left on like basically every social platform? The big plot twist of the movie.
Yeah, I didn't love it because I hate spoilers and I'm pretty particular about the getting spoiled. But it's not too bad. It doesn't because in a way you never know if it's a joke or not. So like it's well done. I didn't, after watching the movie, I didn't mind that much. But yeah, I think they should have given us like at least 2 weeks.
Right? Yeah.
At least let me go watch the movie.
It's like I opened, I think it was Twitter, and then suddenly like I open Twitter and like see like Marvel, and I see the guy just like ripping the poster and saying New Avengers. I'm like, what the dude, what? Like, oh, that's why the asterisk was there, but come on, like at least 2 weeks, man. Jesus.
Yeah, give us some time.
Give us a break, dude. Like the movie was like what, week and a half? 1 week maybe. And after a week, just like, fuck it, we're ripping the bandage out. Let's go. Like, okay, like I mean,
yeah, I feel like with Spider-Man, I think it was like at least a month before they started advertising Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. After the movie had premiered, I think it was at least a month before they started like, okay, we have other Spider-Man. At least a month. And obviously I feel like that is a huge spoiler compared to the New Avengers. Like it's much bigger and much more important to have like the other two Spider-Mans, sure, but still, like, they waited a bit way more than this.
Jesus, like, yeah, Andre in chat is saying like they separate the fans from the big fans, and I'm like, I mean, I guess I'm been kind of like lukewarm on Marvel stuff lately. Like, it's not that I only enjoy the shows or anything, but the hype is definitely not there anymore, like it was in like at the end of Avengers Endgame, I guess. Which, like, perfectly fine. Not saying like Marvel shit or anything, but definitely the hype died down after that whole saga. And I was kind of like, I wanted to just go to the movies. I was maybe interested in seeing Thunderbolts. The spoiler when they showed it on social is like, maybe I'll wait for streaming, I guess. Like, this is the big plot twist of the whole thing. So I'll just wait, I think. Besides, there's like so many movies in theaters that I want to watch that I just, it's not the Marvel movie.
I think the thing is like, even for me, and I'm always super excited about stuff. I like to be excited about movies and games and stuff. I lost a bit of excitement towards Marvel, and I think it was not even about the amount of shows and movie. It's just the quality decreased. And I'm not saying like the previous movies were bad or anything. It's just like they were not as exciting as Thunderbolts, for example.
They feel like they were a bit lost overall, like in introducing so many characters at the same time, and not knowing where the franchise was going to go exactly. Especially with what happened to the Kang actor. I'm forgetting the name now. What happened? I mean, what he made happen, actually, not what happened to him, but what he caused to happen. So like they losing that actor to legal stuff, and like Jonathan Majors, right? Exactly. Thank you. Like they losing Jonathan Majors from the cast, and like trying to do the Kang thing, and then suddenly they don't have a Kang anymore. I mean, they could have recasted. That's, I guess, but it was like a sudden shift where they felt kind of lost, and I think that's why they also brought Robert Downey Jr. As Doctor Doom as well, to basically bring in the fans again, and maybe like lift a little bit of the hope. That being said, like the new Fantastic Four thing, the trailers have been really cool, and I'm kind of hyped to see that one in specific.
Yeah. Even yesterday there was a trailer for it before the movie, and
a new one.
Very excited. No, I think it was the second trailer. So it has been shown. It's just watching it at the movies is a little bit different. It hits kind of harder, I would say. One thing I would say about like the whole Jonathan Majors and Kang situation is obviously don't be a dickhead and don't treat people like shit. Obviously, I'm not condoning anything. Like that's don't take the wrong message, but I think getting rid of Jonathan Majors and Kang was the best thing that could have happened to Marvel. Because, and this is a bit of a biased opinion, because I really hated the Kang character. Like, I don't think they hit the character at all. Any of the... I guess Loki season 1 was kind of cool, but then, like, the way they made Quantum Mania and Loki season 2, I did not like that character at all, and I didn't feel like he was like the successor to Thanos.
Yeah,
it didn't feel cool. It didn't feel like he had a proper purpose. It
didn't feel like a major threat, basically.
Yeah, it was kind of boring. So I think it actually ended up being good for the future.
Yeah, maybe a positive change.
Yeah, and obviously it was because of bad reasons, and that sucks. But it was the best thing that could have happened for the Marvel universe, I think.
Yeah. That being said, like Galactus,
you don't have one successor at all. I mean, what? Doctor Doom? Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah, I think that's like. I mean, not now, because I mean he still hasn't appeared, right?
Yeah,
we just know it's gonna be that guy.
We know. That's awesome. Like. I think it's the perfect way to go about it. It's not because of the history, but also it's Doctor Doom.
Yeah, Doom is like probably one of the like most loved villains of Marvel, as well as Galactus. Like let's face it, Galactus is always a really, really cool like intergalactic threat to the Avenger thing. So I guess like having Fantastic Four bringing Galactus immediately, and then maybe shadowing or teasing Doctor Doom at the end of Fantastic Four, which is probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like that's like immediately kickstarting things into, hey, we're bringing the cool shit now.
Okay, so Andre says, yeah, we've gone through phase 4 and 5 without a villain, without introducing a villain, and without the build-up, and I agree. Yeah. And definitely, like, I don't think Doctor Doom is not going to be... This is going to be maybe Fantastic Four and then Doomsday are going to be the setup, and he's going to be around for a while. The difference is the fact that you know that Robert is going to be Doctor Doom. It is likely that Tony Stark is going to end up being Doctor Doom. So you already kind of have a history with the character. You just don't know what universe and what happened to Tony Stark for him to become Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
So like,
there's comics that like that thing exactly I think happened. So that like they'll pull out from those storylines.
Yeah. So I think the setup is kind of done. It's not really because you haven't seen him, but you have seen Tony Stark. So it's just a matter of what happened to that version of Tony Stark for him to become Doctor Doom, and that is already exciting. Like that was super smart of them.
Yeah.
I'm super hyped for that, and again, I'm biased, but I think that was the best choice they could have gone with.
Anyway, this is in the meantime, like we're talking Thunderbolts and we're talking Avengers, but we know what we came here for. You came here for video games, if I'm not mistaken, right? And me and you have been playing a lot of Blueprints.
It's been a problem, man.
It's been a problem in several ways. So this is a major warning for those in chat. We're gonna talk Blueprints a lot, spoilers included. Okay. We both finished the game. That's my surprise to you. I finished the game. Yes, last night. The whole Sanctum Doors, the last puzzle, the map puzzle. It's done for me.
Oh, you did the
8 things ready. I forgot the name now, but yeah, the 8 realms puzzle.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So basically, Well, I mean, I think we introduced Blueprints at this point. Like, if you haven't heard of it, if you've been living under a rock, like Blueprints is this roguelike puzzle game where you need to build a house tile by tile. The story is like you're a kid that inherits a mansion, but you only get to keep that mansion if you reach room 46. That's your main goal, and as you progress through the house, you place tiles on the grid, and each tile is like a different room that is randomized. So that's the roguelike aspect of the game. I talked about it like 2 weeks ago, I believe. Been playing ever since, and eventually, like, I reached room 46, and the game gives you the major plot twist, which is room 46 is not the ending. As you know, like normal roguelikes, I guess, like when you reach the end of Hades and you defeat Hades for the first time, games are like, oh, turns out there's more shit for you to do. It's like, ah, fuck, okay. Turns out I still need to go back, and you go back and you repeat the game again. But
and it's something that you sort of you start getting that feeling midway through the game where, like, okay, maybe I reach rooms 46, but there's a lot of shit around. Am I gonna figure this stuff out before I reach room 46?
Yeah, you start to feel the clues around you, definitely, about like, hey, like there's a lot of interactions that I'm feel like I'm missing at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, like super neat game. Like so far, like I mean, super neat game. I spent 3 weeks only playing that game actually.
Kind of obsessed. Like,
kind of obsessed, yeah. I feel you probably know the Pepe Silvia meme where like it's the guy with a cork board full of papers and strings, like just going absolutely nuts. That was me for three whole weeks, just trying to understand the connections of every layout, or every tile that appeared in each room. Which is cool. Like coming from an indie game, like that game came out of nowhere. I think like it's really cool that we get, you know, so many bangers this year. Like we got Split Fiction, we got Blueprints, and now we got Expedition 33. Like it's been banger after banger for this year, and with GTA 6 being delayed, I feel like there's more room for these games to breathe and prevail through the year. That's for sure. And you went full tin. Oh yeah, definitely. Like, but I think that's the effect that this game has on you. So yeah, like you reached room 46 way before than I did, because you know, like one of the major things of this game is the RNG. So I don't know, like walk us through it. Like I guess like you reach room 46, and.
So first of all, yeah, you had that sort of unlucky situation where you placed one of the rooms that stays there. You placed it in a way where you didn't like it, and you had to restart. So you kind of restart midway, and I kind of caught up to you. And my story with the game is very interesting, because here's the thing: for people that don't know me, I usually complete every game. I do all achievements. And this is not like there's been games where I didn't get all the achievements because maybe I can't, or they're glitched or something. But when I really like a game, I like to explore it as much as I can. And Blueprints, when I reached room 46, the way the achievements work is a trophy shows up, and you only get the achievement when you pick up the trophy, right? So I cleared room 46, and I was looking at the trophy, and I was thinking, I think I got enough of this game. Should I pick up the achievement, and then, you know, I'm gonna have to complete the game because that's how my mind works. Will I enjoy the rest? I don't know, man. And I ended up like, everybody's loving this game. I'm not really fully into the game yet, but I think I'm gonna enjoy it, and I picked it. And I regretted it as soon as I picked it. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to do all of this now. And from there, I started working towards the other achievements. And it was like, really quickly, I felt like I was obsessed with this game. It turned to, I don't know if I really enjoy this game that much to go through all the RNG and go through all the achievements, into quickly, I cannot stop thinking about this game. I went to sleep one day, and I saw rooms popping in my mind.
The Tetris effect, but with blueprints. Oh man,
crazy. And I started getting obsessed with, because then we start discussing, and you knew stuff about the game that I didn't, and sometimes you came with information like, oh, this room and this room, and I'm like, wait, that works? Is that a combo? Wait, that's a special thing? You can do this? You can do that? If those rooms end up together, you can mix this. It's crazy, the amount of stuff that this game has. And it starts, and that's where it starts. That's where the obsession starts. Because, like, you want to do one more run. I didn't get that combo, but I want to get that combo. And you do one more run.
You know, I had the same feeling as you when I reached room 46 for the first time. And I started a new run immediately. And I saw the trophy, like, laying out on the table, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pick up the trophy, and I turned the game off that day. I'm like, okay, I think I'm good. Like I was already a little bit sour with the RNG, and I wanted to. I want to move on. I like to play a bunch of different games. I have so many games on the backlog and new games coming out. Like I was looking at Expedition 33, and I'm so eager to play that game. But I turned the computer off for that day, or the Steam Deck. Actually, I was playing on the Steam Deck. Turned it off. Woke up next morning. Went to work, and when I ended my day, I was like, I'll just make another run, because we start to. Because like there's thing that lingers on the back of your head, like, oh yeah, I saw this potential for a combo, but I ended up like not realizing it, or what it was actually doing. I saw that thing outside, that like that puzzle is still not completed, right? And you're like, maybe I'll just do one run and see like if I can do this once again. And immediately, like, the gears start turning again. I'm like, okay, I'm doing this puzzle. Now I want boiler room and lab. I like, okay, boiler room and lab. Okay, I got boiler room and lab. Let's see what's going. Oh shit! Like, turns out there's a whole layer behind this. And like, as you progress through the game, like the game has so many layers hidden underneath. Literally, because like there's a lot of stuff underground beneath the mansion, that you feel like you need to know what's there, right? It's the thing of, now I need to dig like until the end of, like, until the whole doesn't let me progress much further. I'm not going as further as you, I'd say, because you did the whole achievements thing, like even the day one run. But as soon as I saw the 8 doors, or the sanctum doors, I'm like, now I need to know what's behind this, right?
I honestly think that for me, having done all achievements, I don't think day one run, it was fun. It was fun to do. I'm not gonna lie, because it's the amount of restrictions you have to complete the game in the first day. You also have to be super lucky. The dare mode and the cursed mode, I didn't love them. It's just like, it's more of the same stuff, but with more restrictions.
I need to ask, what's those modes? I don't know what those are. So cursed mode is, you always begin the run with curses, and okay, it's basically. Wait, how do you unlock that? Okay. Wait. You telling me I haven't? No.
Oh yeah.
No. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So as we are talking right now, you are telling me, oh yeah, there's this thing in game that like I apparently haven't seen. Cool. Okay. So cursed mode, right?
So cursed mode is a mode where the sky the sky is red.
Okay.
And you are cursed from the get-go. You remember the curses from like the statue? Have you ever got cursed?
Yeah, so if there's a shrine, if you give it money and then take it back, you get cursed. Right, exactly.
Exactly. So you start the run with a curse. I think up to 3 curses. And it's basically, it is hard mode. and like let's say you start the mode with 20 steps instead of 50.
Oh man, okay.
You can't draft. As soon as I started that mode, I drafted bedroom and I lost because my curse was I couldn't draft bedroom. No, den. I couldn't draft den anymore. If I drafted den, I would lose the run. Stuff like that. So it's a hard mode, but
wait, if you draft den as like as if you placed the tile of den, not like if you got it right.
Oh no, yeah, you have to place it.
Okay.
If you choose it, yeah.
Kane's in chat like he's going back to the game. Maybe no. Okay, I'm done. Like I don't care for like extra difficulty modes or anything. Like Rene is more of that guy.
Yeah, their mode is different. It's like it adds extra. It's sort of like if you do this, you get this. It's not just you are cursed. There's more at stake. There's like actual dares, and you get stuff from it. It's a little bit different. I think cursed mode is like the hard mode, and it is hard mode, but also you still get the upgrades.
Okay.
So it's a matter of if you grind enough, you'll get there. I think that the hardest part is definitely day one, and it's the one that at the beginning I remember, and this is more of the same feeling of I don't think I like this, and then I'm obsessed with this. I started trying the day one run, and I did like 30 minutes, 1 hour of trying, and I'm like, okay, I'm done for today. And I stopped playing, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe this was a mistake. I don't know if I'm gonna like this. And then the next day, I couldn't wait until I got back into the game and started trying the day one run again. And that's the beautiful thing about this game, and scary too, is no matter what run I was doing, even if I got tired that day, the next day I was just wanting to come back to the game and start messing up with new rooms and new combos and then there's that run where you get super lucky, and they're like, oh, maybe my luck is gonna change, and that never happens. It's just that run, but that lucky run always feels better, and that's what you cling on to until the next.
A lot of times I did feel like the RNG was not with me. Like in a lot of runs actually. Like I sent you some screenshots like at the end of some runs where I was like, I had the antechambers doors open and I drafted the rooms. I had no dice anymore, and instead of the room like curving left towards the antechamber, it just curves right. And I'm like, okay, I don't have like any room that I can place here to just reach the antechamber and go back, for instance. A lot of stuff, or like getting stuck earlier because RNG just decides that run you're not even going to reach halfway. And it's super funny the way that like those interactions also like don't overpower the good runs, because I feel the good runs, like you unlock so many stuff, at least early mid game. Later game it's a bit different with the sanctum keys and all that. But like early mid game, there's runs where you unlock like a shit ton of combos or like permanent upgrades, or you found out a new room to draft, and then there's like 5 runs where you get nothing, but that good run is like, oh yeah, maybe I'll get this one on the 6th, and you go back again. It's very cool.
I feel like the game, and again, having done everything achievement wise, I feel like every achievement that I was doing, it gets to a point in the game where you sort of have more and more control over what you're drafting. And the only achievement that I really found super hard to make was the 20 dead ends, where you have to draft 20 dead ends. You actually have to place them. Okay. And that one was the only one that I used. I don't know if you know this, but if you get to 50 stars on the observatory, the next run, if you get the observatory, you get to use the stars to redraw. So you have 50 redraws.
You did told me that, yeah.
So that one was the only one that I used to, because getting to any dead ends without any of those redraws was going to be tough. But everything else I did just normally without redraws, mostly just, being smart about the decisions. Let's say there was one achievement where I had to draft 9 classrooms. I got lucky. I got the room where you can lower make the frequency higher for that specific room. You can make it like a common place. And I made the classroom common. I made it not cost anything as well.
Oh, with the armory, right?
Yeah. So this doesn't cost. And the run for making 9 classrooms was super easy. It was like second try. I got the 9 classrooms just because of that, because they cost nothing. They give you redraws because like the more classrooms you have, the more redraws you have when you are in a classroom. So like I feel the game, it is heavy RNG, but it gets to a point where it starts being less RNG, and also like obviously your decision making it gets to a point where you start understanding that maybe I shouldn't risk because this is a corridor and I'm stuck on both sides. Maybe let me do that room first and see if I get something, and then I'll come back here.
Yeah.
You start making better decisions.
I think as you progress, like you do regain more control of the RNG a little bit. Although it does feel like the game will not let you control the RNG early on. But as you unlock the permanent upgrades and like the more you play, you start to realize that, wait, no, it turns out I do have more player agency that I was led to believe at first, which is another way like the game also like progresses on you, because at first like you start to feel really frustrated in the early runs with the RNG, like just not fucking you over basically, and then like you get to your 20th day, your 30th day, or like 50th day, like, oh wait, no, I got this. Turns out like this is super easy, and you start to know like the rooms that are more that like are have a higher chance of coming out early, and others that have the higher chance of coming out later. Maybe you start to play for the room that you drafted as well. Like you draft you get the garden key, and like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play for the garden key because since I got this, I'm gonna try and draft the garden and enter the antechamber from that side. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like the complaints that I had initially on that game, maybe like I'm not saying it could not be done better, that's for sure, but I think the early complaints that I had with the RNG, most of all, I think they kind of disappeared as I progressed through the game. I think there's still some frustrating. I mean, sometimes it's frustrating because it's a roguelike. I think it's part of the nature of those games, right? That sometimes the runs it's just not that run. It's just something that you are playing and the game decides to like, no, that this is gonna end here, or I'm not gonna let you have more resources or more gems or keys or whatever. But as you progress more and more, the game just gives you more and more stuff. Even like the permanent upgrades, like with the allowance stuff, with like the way you can start keys if you freeze your assets and money as well. There was a run where I started with like 200 coins. Because I froze the assets with the freezer, and like I the thing is, like, I went to bed after freezing, and I went to bed and got to sleep, never thought of it again. When I start the game next day, I started and suddenly look at my resource, like, oh shit, right, I have 200 coins right now. Shit, what am I gonna do with this? Like, do I draft shops until I do whatever? Also, the permanent upgrade thing, it's something that I wasn't counting. They feel super small at first, when you get stuff like, oh, you can draft a room outside the mansion. I'm like, okay, some rooms are okay. Some do feel more useful than others, like the shelter and the items room, the tool shed, I believe. Those are the ones that feel more useful overall. Stuff like hovel or the outside classroom or whatever. Not really, especially the one that trades your gems for steps. Like, oh, now the rooms cost steps instead of gems. I feel that's like one of the worst ones.
I actually think that one is great.
Really?
For when you want to get something very specific, and you know that room is gonna cost something. And again, this is more specific runs where you're trying to get a very specific thing or combo. I feel like the combination of using steps to buy rooms and also drafting a lot of bedrooms is like a fantastic combo, because sometimes you spend 6, 9, 15 steps for a single room, which is insane. But also, if you get a lot of bedrooms, you also get a lot of steps. And now you don't have the whole thing about I need to get gems. You just need keys. And so that's a very strong combo, and you want to get specific rooms that are rare. And it happened a lot where I wanted a specific combo for something, and I got the combo, but I didn't have enough gems, because sometimes you just have runs where there's like pretty much no gems whatsoever. So yeah, I actually found, and this is another thing, obviously, like two very different experiences, and I think it just takes we upgrading a room differently, and it makes us think about the whole process of the game differently. Just because we chose a different upgrade for a specific room, and this could be a very small upgrade. I don't feel like there's any upgrades that are very like huge or anything. It's just it makes us think of our runs in different ways, and just a single room will.
It's incremental stuff. like you get instead of the Nook giving you like 1 key, it gives you 2, and like, okay, now I have 2 keys. But every time you draw a Nook, I'm like, oh, I got 2 keys now, cool. And it doesn't feel like much, but as you stack all those upgrades on top of each other, like suddenly the runs start to feel a lot more safe and more like easily controllable, I guess. It's very cool. And then like obviously you have, like, besides all of this, you have all the other layers, right? The outside puzzle, the rooms that you get access outside the mansion, the doors, the sanctum doors, obviously underneath, which is like the major thing that you, I guess, like, you can split the game into acts. Hey Alex, welcome to chat, man. You can split the game in 2 acts. Like, one is you get to room 46 for the first time, and you're like, I'm done. I reached the room. It's like that was the main objective of the game. And then there's like layer 2 where you look at the sanctum doors and like, okay, I need to unlock all the sanctum doors and look for the sanctum keys. I got the most lucky run like yesterday. I think I told you, like, with a clock tower, where I was in a run where I thought it was a lost run already. Like I like midway through the run, I was like, okay, rooms that I'm getting are fucked. I already had blocked the entry to room 46 or to the antechamber because of awful RNG, and then I draft the Cloister Draxes, which is like the upgrade for the Cloister that only drafts dead ends. Like, you get 3 doors, but all of them will give you dead ends, mandatory. With one small exception, actually. I realized that the secret passageway, you know, the room where you get like a bunch of books and you pick the book to get the next room, that counts as a dead end.
Oh.
That counts as a dead end. So it's not the first time where I draw Cloister Draxes, and I happened to draw Secret Passage on one of those doors, and turns out it's not a dead end because you can just go to the next square. And it's very funny.
That would explain the fact that I got 21 rooms drafted in my 20 dead ends run, and I didn't know why I had 21 because I only got 20.
That counts as a secret passage, as a dead end. So like that room, like, it gives you 3 dead ends that will draft, but every time you draft one of those dead ends, it will give you 4 dice to reroll them. It's a very high risk, high reward maneuver, I guess. Because you know, like, if you're placing that thing, you need to go back. Like you'll need to go back on your steps, and if you don't have anywhere else to go, well, that you're fucked. Unless you're counting on that specific dead end to be drafted, but like, good luck with that, right?
Yeah, even then, it's like it gets to a point where it's a large pool of dead ends, and to get the secret passage,
So I drafted the first 2 dead ends, and it was like just item and attic, I believe. And the third one, I was like, okay, I'm gonna see what this will give me. I hope it's secret passage, because I still had a little bit of leeway to get to the antechamber from the front door. And I get clock tower. I'm like, fuck, okay, I don't know what time is it right now in the game, because you need to be on top of the clock tower at a specific time. And I draft the thing, go up the clock tower, and I look at the clock like, oh, I still have time. I still have like 5 minutes to spare. I'm just gonna wait here. And so I end up waiting on top of the clock tower. The secret room opens because I was there. Get the sanctum key, go back, and still open like that specific door on the sanctum outside. Like, okay, turns out this was not a lost run. And the feeling of that, like, it's so crazy, because at that point, like, I thought there was like just another 30-45 minutes that I lost on a run that was being absolute shit.
When you say 5 minutes, was it 5 minutes in-game time, or was it 5 minutes
IRL?
Oh, okay. Because like if you got there 5 minutes before the clock,
it was just like on time.
That would have been insane.
That'd be really insane. No, it was like I think it's like 1:30, I believe, and I got there, it was like 1 o'clock.
Okay.
I was like, just
it's still lucky. It's
still super lucky, because this was late in the run, right? The clock tower was already like maybe two lines below the antechamber. So I thought, like, this was like, even if I draft this, it's whatever. Turns out, like, I was still super fast getting there, and ended up like just nailing the sanctum key with the most notorious lock. 2 of them, actually, because the music room sanctum key was also another lucky draw. It's so funny, and it's those moments that the game, like, I think really shines. With making you feel like I got the luckiest run, like at the end of the unluckiest run possible.
And it sometimes sort of wins you over again, because sometimes you get so pissed that you got unlucky with a specific run and it blocked you when you were about to get something that you really, really wanted. But then you get runs where it just gives you I got 3 sanctum keys, and I placed the 4th because of the boiler room. In a single run, and it's been I was trying for like 2 hours to get the combo that I wanted. I was going for both boiler room and pump room, or music room at the end. That's where you get the sanctum keys. I was playing for I think I played for like 2 or 3 hours before I got one of the combos, and when I got one of the combos, I got both the pump room and the boiler room, and then I got the music room at the end as well. So I got the 3 keys. I was able to set up the 4th one. It's like, and the game sort of, that's where the game wins you over, because you've been unlucky, but then you get so lucky and you're like, oh, this is a relief, and you're back in the thing.
Well, another cool thing that I think that the game really does is that you end up talking to your friends that are playing the game as well. And this is not a co-op game, like in the traditional sense, but it ends up being a shared experience, if you want, because me and you ended up like trading a bunch of secrets to each other, because hey, like, this happens, and if you get this combo, this specific interaction also happens. I was speaking to Abscond as well with some interactions. So I think, like, it's one of those games that part of the appeal is also playing it now, where everyone is playing it because everyone is trying to find the clues, and try to, I guess, get to the end first than their friends at the same time. but they end up sharing like I know stories of people that shared like a Google Doc thing or like a Google Keep Notes thing. With pictures and stuff where like, hey, I got this code now, I don't know where this code goes, and someone on their game just tries the code somewhere else, like on a save, like, hey, this is actually for this save, and they end up like sharing the whole experience of the game despite being a completely single player game, which is another like fantastic story of like developers finding ways of making the players come together in different ways that we had before, because now everything is like online. You can just search for answers online. And I think it's getting way harder to like get shared game experiences unless it's strictly co-op or multiplayer games. And not everyone has the patience or like the mental capacity to play multiplayer, or the schedule actually. But in this way, like, you end up playing the game with your friends without actually being with your friends, and it's pretty cool. It's I think it was like another thing that made me enjoy the game was just the constant communication with other people playing it. Like, oh, I found this interaction with the boiler room and the furnace now. Like, okay, what does it do? Oh, like you can craft keys. Like, oh, cool, shit. I
think this is the beautiful thing about this game, is that yes, I think RNG plays against the game, the way the game tells you a story and the way the game tells you how to solve a puzzle. RNG gets in the way of that experience a little bit. But that's where the experience with everyone that's playing you the game alongside you comes into play. It is very special, and it's a game where I'm not comfortable looking for stuff online about how to solve a specific puzzle, or what is the code for that room, or how does this work. But I feel like in a game where RNG plays a huge part, and honestly against what you're trying to accomplish, then you have this help from other players that are also going through this sort of the same things you are as well. And it doesn't feel bad that you're sharing stuff. It actually feels very unique as an experience. And I think that's where this game shines. And I will still feel, now that I've completed the game, I still feel like, yes, the game sometimes gets in its own way when it's trying to tell you a story and when it's trying to give you solutions for puzzles because of the RNG. Would I know how to do it any differently? No, I'm not even smart enough. This game is so complex. It must have been so hard to make. But then you have that experience with your friends. Like, yeah, the game complicates a bit with the RNG, but you can also share, and you can also look for stuff if you want. You don't specifically need to, keep drafting that specific combo to figure out something.
Yeah,
and maybe
you don't need to bash your head against the wall most of it.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't think about it. Actually, just now that you mention it, it's something that I'm thinking about now. Yeah, the shared experience is definitely one of the things that made this game so special. Because, even though it gets in its own way, you get to share stuff with your friends. And me and you, like, we just every day, we were going back and forth. Oh, this happened to me. This happened to me. Even yesterday, you told me about a new combo that I had no idea. It was the furnace.
Oh, the furnace and the boiler room as well.
Yeah, I was like, what how is that? Really? That works? It's amazing. Like, I have spent maybe 50, 60 hours in this game completing all achievements. And even then, I didn't know about a specific combo. The dead end cloister that you mentioned. I didn't even know that was a possibility.
Yeah, it's an upgrade that you get.
So yeah, like this game is so complex. It must have been so hard to do that I understand why it wouldn't be easy to not make the game this way, because this was their vision, and I don't think it would have worked any other way. But yeah, you can compensate with just sharing and speaking about it, and even looking online. Honestly, like, I looked a lot of stuff, and this is something that I usually don't do, but I looked a lot of stuff because I was like, I want to keep going. I don't want to feel like I need to draft this specific room just to figure this stuff out and then come back and I'm going to need to draft this combo again. I'm just going to look it up. And I did. It didn't feel bad.
there are like definitely some puzzles that I think they're way too like over their head. One that comes to mind is the drawing room puzzle, with I guess with the safe room as well. That like that specific puzzle, I was like, I don't know if I was ever clever enough to even get there, especially because it's the hint is something like it's you need to know a lot of English, like phonetics, I guess, to understand like the pun that they're going through. And there's puzzles in the games that in that game that are completely, crazy to even solve. Like some the gallery room, for instance, it's another one. Like it's full of puns, which is something I'm not gonna. I had mixed feelings on those, on that specific room, but the way that people like got there and like share their knowledge with Reddit communities and all that, like, okay, like this, I think this is what the game was made for, in specific.
Yeah, I actually think, I totally agree. I think some of these puzzles feel like they're very convoluted, and like it's not even like, oh, this is you need to be really smart to figure this out. Not even that. You just need to be random sometimes.
Yeah,
you need to
I feel that sometimes the clues that help you solve the puzzle, the fact that they're scattered throughout other areas also don't help that much. For instance, classroom has a thing where they help you solve one of the gallery puzzles, but but getting that specific combination of gallery plus classrooms is so so small, and plus you putting one and one together and realizing, oh yeah, look, that was the hint on classroom number 2, and especially classroom number 2, where the hint was there, and like getting to the gallery and looking at the painting, like, oh yeah, like this is it, right? Like it's so, like, sometimes they're way too convoluted for you to just do this game on your own. That's for sure.
Yeah. I totally agree. I think that usually, I hate the feeling that. So let's say there's a puzzle in a specific game, and you don't know if the solution is in that room. That is a feeling that I hate. But usually in a game, you spend a little bit, and you're like, okay, maybe it's not here. In Blueprints, it is not easy to figure out, because again, some of these solutions are very convoluted and very, sometimes actually sort of random, honestly. And not only that, maybe they're in other rooms, and this is RNG, so you need to get lucky, and maybe you didn't even get there yet. And that is where I think the game gets in its own way, and it's sometimes like it sort of takes away your pleasure of solving a puzzle. And I can compare this to a very recent game, which was Indiana Jones, where I loved most of the puzzles in that game. Yeah. They were not very hard. They were okay to figure out. Some of them were harder than others, but like, you knew that if the puzzle was there, most likely the solution was around, which is a feeling that I love. And honestly, like in a game like Blueprints, it can't always happen. Obviously, there's going to be puzzles that you need to figure out throughout the whole game, and that's cool too. That's special. But I feel like the way Indiana Jones made me feel about the puzzles, and the way that I figure them out and clear them, was much more fun and made me feel better. But again, it's very different games. Blueprints has another idea, and I get it. I get the idea. It's just sometimes, it sort of hinders some of the puzzle solving experience. But I think that's not the point of the game anyway. So overall, it's just a very unique and special game, and a game that like I'm definitely gonna remember forever, because like, this is a very unique experience, not only as a game, but as like a social experiment too. And the way we back and forth every day, we were talking about new stuff. Like we were, even telling like, okay, this is what my run today is going to look like. I want to go for this. And then we almost got it. And we sent a picture to each other like, oh shit, this was almost it. And like, that was such a cool experience. And definitely would say that the game is very special. It's a very good game, but that social experiment that they've created sort of like raised the bar on this game and made it even more special than it already was to begin with.
You feel it's going to be like Indie of the Year, or at least go on the run for Indie of the Year, or even like Game of the Year actually at the TGAs?
This game will definitely be on the conversation for Game of the Year.
You think it's this year's Balatro?
The thing is, and obviously, like, this is a very biased opinion from someone who listens to specific podcasts, and right. the games media is not the podcast that I listen to only, but the people that I listen to, most of them were shocked by this game, and most of them have this game in their one of the gaudy contenders. So I think that this game, this game is so special. This game will definitely be in the conversation. For me, right now, it would still be Split Fiction, because it's first of all, it's just an amazing game to play. It is such a fucking cool game to play. But then it's also a very like awesome experience to play with the wife. It was a very special game for us to play together. But Blueprints is definitely up there. It's definitely up there. It's again, Split Fiction takes the lead right now, but Blueprints, I cannot deny how special this game is, and I cannot deny that I got addicted to this game. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Even now we're and
yeah.
I wish I could have done some of those combos that I didn't.
I think like to like nail home the conversation for this one, and then we'll move on to the news. I think it's a very special game. I think like coming out of nowhere, especially like me and Abscon have been talking about it like for quite a few months before its release, but I wasn't expecting like for me to feel like so attracted to the whole like run after run thing and the puzzle. I'm gonna say like I do think I need some upgrades in quality of life stuff for that game, especially the running. The running is very tedious. Like that character doesn't just runs at a really slow pace. And
I think the outside speed should be available inside. Honestly,
it does run differently. Like right, because I felt it was quicker outside, but I was like maybe
much quicker.
Right, it is. Okay, yeah. It's not me. I thought I was going crazy because like why doesn't it run like this inside the house? But
yeah,
maybe it has like some properties that like because I mean you showed me some glitches today, and maybe that's because it doesn't run as fast.
No, you know what I think it could be, and literally this thought just came to mind. I'm gonna say it without even thinking too much about it. But you know that thing that sometimes happens where you misstep and you lose a step because you
might be that as well. I mean, maybe adjustable speed would be cool. The other thing is I do need the colorblind mode very, very soon in that game. I mean, I'm not going back now, and most of the time, like it was not a terrible experience for me. Most of the puzzles that involved colors, it was fine. It was not the end of the world. I could see them clearly, except for the breaker box puzzle where you need to light up the buttons. The game asked me to turn purple and blue buttons, and I'm like I don't know which one is which right now. It's the same for me. Also, like if it was like red and purple, it was also like confusing to me if it were standing side by side. That's the major thing. And by the end, on one of the sanctum doors, there was a puzzle with orange tiles next to I guess it was a green or yellow. Like I don't know. Okay, like I think it was green or yellow. And the game's like, oh yeah, the orange tiles do this when you press them. And I looked at the puzzles like I don't know which one are the orange or the green or the yellow. Those all are blending into me right now, so I don't know what to do. So eventually, like I got my girlfriend like next to me, like, hey, like you need to help me go through this.
Yeah, I need help, man.
Because I can't see the colors. Like, I don't know where I should press or whatever I should do. And it was a hard process because like she doesn't play any video games at all. Which means like I had to also make her understand the logic of the puzzle and I was trying to do. So it was a double blockade there, where me not seeing the colors and her not understanding what I was trying to do at the same time. Then I'm like, okay, no, I need to like get these colors like here, but if I press this color, this happens, and if I press the other color, this also happens, and I need to get them on the corners to get the thing open. And it was a very awkward conversation in the middle.
Yeah. Because those puzzles, some of them are not easy, and like if there's color blindness in the mix, it's tough, man.
It's tough.
I would say if there are two things that one of them I think would be super cool to add into this game, which would be skipping sort of some of the cutscenes, and this is mostly like animation stuff. Where let's say you want to go to the code box.
The character just slowly turns.
Like if it zooms in, or like when you start a new day, or when you go, like there are specific. The one that always pissed me off is the slow zoom-ins on the save codes. It's like, I've done this before. I just want to get the gem inside.
Yeah, and the parlor key. Every time you get the parlor key, it just shows you, yeah, this is the parlor key. Like I know, like I've been doing this for 40 days now. I know I know what the parlor key looks like.
It's a little bit much, and like when you're trying to go for runs, and obviously this is a small complaint about a very good video game, of course, but those cutscenes are a bit annoying. And then the other thing I would say, and I think this could have been a good idea, even like not as a like a mandatory thing that happens every day, but like as maybe a pickup, which would be like a mini map. An item that would give you the ability to look at a minimap and maybe give you something extra. Because sometimes when you're running around and you're not you don't remember the setup of that you made. You are
constantly like toggling the map in and out. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
it's not the best feeling.
Yeah, maybe like sort of like a I don't know, maybe gives you a mini-map and also helps with some of the drafting or something like small, but maybe an extra item when it's just a mini-map that allows you to do something extra. I think would be super cool, because I did feel that many times when I wanted to go back, and especially at this later bit of the game where you're going back and forth for the sanctum keys. Sometimes you have to go through the whole fucking app, and it's just like, keep opening the blueprints and see if I'm doing correctly. And a lot of times I got it wrong and I missed a few steps as well. So I think that would be cool.
Yeah, that's Blueprints, everyone. Like I think like pretty cool game. If you haven't tried it, like I think you should like do it. It's on Game Pass, I believe, right?
Yeah.
It's on Game Pass. It's on Steam. It's on PlayStation 5 and Xbox. Not sure if PlayStation 4. Now that I think about it. But
I will definitely. It's on Game Pass. If this game ever gets a collector's edition with like the map or the keys, gems, I'm definitely gonna buy this. Like this game deserves my money.
The bird plushie. That's my.
Nice. Or Sanctum key as well.
Sanctum key would be actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on to the news. But before that, by the way, have you realized that the game name is a pun?
No.
Because it's the Blueprints, and you have blueprints.
Oh shit! Oh no!
And I just ruined the game. Let's move on to the news, everyone. Let's go!
Shit.
Oh man. GTA trailer came out. Grand Theft 6. Grand Theft 6 actually it's the way when I worked at the game store, if you bought GTA, it would be registered as Grand Theft 5, and I think that would be pretty funny if there was like an alternate universe where we all said Grand Theft instead of like calling it GTA, just calling Grand Theft 6. I think it was. I think it could be very funny.
I'm sure that was not the weirdest thing you've ever heard on that store.
On that store, not at all. My God, we could do a whole podcast with 20 episodes of weird shit that happened on that store. But yeah, GTA 6, the famous crime simulator, arcade story thing from Rockstar. They released a new trailer after delaying or revealing the release date, I guess, last week. I guess. They pushed the game back to 2026, and it was like next day they just decided, we'll just release a new trailer, I guess.
A little bit of a treat.
I think it's time. Trailer.
I think it was more like, okay, so
this is gonna take
investors
a while.
are not very happy about the delay. Let's raise the price of the stock just by releasing it.
It feel like that. It did feel like that. Like, oh shit! Like we kind of fumbled the ball now. We're releasing a trailer. Let's go, man. I mean, this trailer. Trailers usually like take a lot to be made. So like obviously like they saw it coming and they had it ready.
Yeah, and it was such a smart move. Because obviously, and this is our usual take. I don't give a fuck about how long this game is out, as long as when it comes out, it's good, right? So this was such a smart move of them. Just they
let everybody down by like, hey, turns out we're sorry. Like, game is coming out next year, and then like, aha, here's something new for you to analyze frame by frame. I saw all 8 hours. 8 hours trailer analysis from like some like how can you like, this is not that Nvidia, it's not Dark Souls or like Elden Ring levels of lore, but people are analyzing the trailer frame by frame throughout 8 hours apparently somehow.
Crazy.
Crazy. But yeah, they introduced like the characters a little bit more. They showed like some more characters that were not in the first trailer. I believe like this guy is Matty Matheson, the guy from The Bear, also if from If not, it's very, 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 very.
Yeah, it's inspired.
Similar. It's definitely inspired. Matty Matheson, which was like the only guy that knew actually how to cook on The Bear Show, which is so funny, because he is a cook. He has a whole.
He has a channel, right?
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel that does like a bunch of different foods. Pretty good cook actually, and pretty like awesome tasting food. I've tried some of his recipes, and he knows his stuff. But yeah, then they released a bunch of new screenshots that people are also analyzing, like zooming in and checking shit out for sure. Trailer is cool. Like it does look, I as much as I'm not excited about GTA 6, at least for now, like GTA 6, especially now with it being delayed, I feel like I'm at a part of my life where if you talk to me about playing a Grand Theft Auto for the whole thing, like the story and all that, I'll be like shrugging, like, okay, maybe when it's closer to the release, but somehow like I don't feel like I'm ready to play a new GTA currently because of how long this game takes, and especially how much of graphically demanding this game will be as well.
Yeah.
So I might not be ready, but my graphics card is definitely not ready for playing GTA 6 ever.
This is definitely where my PS5 Pro is gonna come in handy for sure.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure this game. Look, Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, and it's one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. 7 years the game has, and I still feel like it's probably the best looking game I've ever played. At least it's the most photorealistic. You have like games like Horizon, which look fantastic, but they're more cartoony. Red Dead
Yeah.
Redemption, I add 300 hours on that game on Xbox One, original Xbox One, not even series, and I add one single slowdown on that game. Like these guys know how to do stuff.
Yeah. Rockstar
You know?
definitely know their stuff. I think like it's the part that I'm most excited about. Not even like the story nor the, you know, people are a lot of people are excited for the new multiplayer stuff as well, because it's been a great part of GTA 5, and people are excited obviously for that stuff. It's funny because like I feel GTA is now one of those generational games that, or rather, it's a game where it has a generational divide where a lot of different people are excited about different stuff, because depending on how old you are, or I guess like where you started playing GTA, like for me it will always be like the story stuff and the tech most of all, because GTA was always like about the Rockstar techs, the graphical tech and fidelity, right? And some people are excited because the new protagonist and the new story modes. Some people are excited about online and the role-playing stuff that I don't even know if the game will feature that on release.
Not online. I think roleplay will be that's actually like one of the most interesting conversations. Like I'm with you. For me, just like the story, the tech, the new things that they're gonna come up with. That's the good thing.
Will the main character's testicle shrink with the cold?
my low bar is experimenting in like a very good game that has like new tech. My high bar is a story that makes me feel stuff like I did with that Red Dead Redemption. But the thing is, and I feel like this is the interesting part. I'm also very interested to know what will they do with GTA Online. If me and you, we've talked about this in the past. If Nintendo has like a headache with Nintendo Switch 2, how do you follow up the one of the most successful consoles of all time with Switch? Like how do you do that? That's a terrible job to have. Like how do you follow that up without screwing it?
Yeah, the pressure from investors and all that, like it must be crazy. And GTA 5 will definitely be the same.
Yeah, GTA Online has been around for more than 10 years.
13 at this point.
13. And it still works. It's very dated. The systems are dated. The graphically, it's dated. How do you follow up with that?
But it's still getting upgrades or updates.
It's still getting updates, still getting new missions to do and stuff like that. Still still in the top 10 of sold games every fucking week. It's crazy. It's making so much money. I think almost $9 billion this game has generated in revenue. But how do you follow that up? What are you gonna do with the current like player base? Is it over? Is it a transition? How does it work? Like it's such a headache for me to understand and honestly, it's kind of exciting to know. Not that I'm gonna play it, because I'm definitely not gonna play this game online. It's not my type of game. I'm just gonna go for the offline. But I'm very interested to knowing what is gonna happen. How are they gonna be able to pull this off? It's
actually crazy. Yeah, it's actually like exciting. Something that I'm looking. I'm not gonna say like I'm looking forward, because I'm definitely not gonna play this, especially on release. But I'm curious to see what like a GTA 6 online will be like in 2026, I guess, with all the fancy tech and how Vice City looks. Most of all, like Vice City is still like I guess one of my favorite GTAs, and I kind of want to see how that city looks, years after the original GTA Vice City from the PlayStation 2. It's crazy to think it's 4 generations apart in terms of console generations.
Yeah, and what the horse balls are going to look like. You made that joke, but it's like, what is going to be the equivalent of the balls shrinking in this game? That's what gets me excited.
It's going to be balls shrinking, but with alligators. I think that's the answer.
Alligator balls.
Alligator balls just shrinking. I mean, we like it's one of those things like you read the news and you read the headlines when that thing on Red Dead Redemption came out, the Cougar wet fur as well. Yeah, Kane is actually like pointing that out on chat. True. Like the Cougar wet fur and but like you saw those headlines like coming out on Red Dead Redemption, and we laughed at it like like who cares about fucking horse balls just shrinking? Like no one's gonna notice that, but it's there, and someone will actually someone will be checking that out. Some crazy guy on YouTube will be like posting comparison shots with like, oh no, look, with this, it's cold now, like, so balls are actually like less 3 pixels wide. I'm like, okay, cool.
Ball comparison videos
and all that. Like, okay, cool. I think it's funny, the way they sometimes advertise this shit. That being said, like, trailer did not reveal any gameplay, obviously. Because the game is so far apart yet.
So here's the thing. Apparently the game is, half of it is gameplay, half of it is cutscene. I don't know what they mean by...
The trailer? You mean the trailer?
Yeah, I think some of it is actually gameplay maybe in like cutscene mode or something like that.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah. But like...
Half of it is...
You haven't seen like actual, like, proper gameplay, right?
Heads-up display, game running.
Right, you didn't see the game running or heads-up display, which I know, obviously, the game is like 1 year apart now, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'll worry about it, like, when it gets there. But I saw a lot of people complaining, like, about, not showing gameplay, obviously. And I get the disappointment, but, like, at the same time, like, what do you want? Like, you want to see the back of a car? That's what GTA looks like at this point.
Exactly.
The franchise has been around like long enough for you to know what a GTA will look like with those graphics. So like it felt kind of awkward to see people on Twitter like, just, oh my god, like I can't believe they didn't show gameplay, like they delayed the game, oh my god. Like, oh, yeah, sure, like you're gonna see like it's the back of a car, someone will, or you try to rob a car and you see the back of it then, and you're probably gonna shoot some people, like commit felonies. It's fine, like no one will, I don't think anyone else will be surprised if they...
I saw this on Twitter, and it was a comment, someone saying like watch Rockstar make you grab your weapons from the trunk of the car every time, like you do in Red Dead, right?
Like you do in LA Noire as well.
Like it's Red Dead Redemption. It's one of my favorite games of all time, but I understand people not being able to play that game because it is slow. If you don't go with the mindset of, this is like a place where I'm gonna live for a while. If you go there in a rush, you're not gonna be able to enjoy that game. I role played in that game. I was walking in a bar and I was slowly walking, like going inside and looking at everyone. Like that's how I played Red Dead Redemption. I would love to see that in GTA, where like guns don't show up on your hand. You need to actually grab them and stuff like that. That for me would be super interesting. But I think that would turn some people off.
Yeah, I think there needs to be I think we talked about this like last week about the realism in games and like where the line draws for and it's different for me and you and for a lot of people. Yeah. But like you like the one of the things about those games is that they're very casual friendly as well. GTA, like, despite people claiming it's a very realistic game and all that thing, like I think they're full of horse crap, to be honest, because like the GTA has always been like a very casual friendly experience, because you carry like six guns on your pocket, right? And I don't see like Jason, the main protagonist, there's like putting his hand on his pocket and suddenly taking out a rocket launcher. Like that's not gonna happen.
It makes no sense.
Like at some point, developers need to realize where do we draw the line? Like do we make him carry the thing on his back and like everyone's gonna know this? So like, can he even carry a rocket launcher? And I think at some point there needs to be like a place where they say, okay, this is going to be like the arcade stuff where like he carries like 20 guns on or whatever, like kind of like a Doom Marine situation or a Doom Guy situation. But then you have to, like, if you want to transport something on your car, you need to, park the car, and you can't be too damaged for you to do the thing. or like you need to like take off the plane, but you actually need to like gain speed, and you can't just like take off the plane or a helicopter just by doing nothing.
Yeah. You need to pick your battles on what you're gonna be realistic about and not. And again, this is why GTA is exciting. This is the most expensive piece of media ever made, and here we are talking about the possibilities of how this game is going to move the industry forward. And I myself, and I speak for the wife as well, we are excited to the point where if this game comes out, she prefers PlayStation, I prefer Xbox.
You'll buy two copies.
I will buy 2 copies even if the game costs 100. And again, that's fortunately fair. I'm in a very privileged position where I sort of work in the games industry. I'm able to buy my games. It's my passion. It's the thing that I like to do the most, and I'm able to buy that. So I'm not like, oh, the game's costing 100 is fine. That's a different conversation. But we're at a point where even if I play the game on my PS5 Pro and she plays on her PS5, I don't see a way where we can share the same game. We will be playing this game day one. Like, we are both really into GTA. And again, I didn't love GTA 5. I think the story was not very good. I didn't like the characters. It's the only GTA that I really didn't like as much as the others. I loved every single one of them, apart from 5. But I'm still very excited. And the story, this trailer in specific, it gave me enough where I can see the story being interesting. I'm interested in the story. Hopefully they'll be able to write better than 5, honestly. Some people like it. I myself, I think a story like Red Dead Redemption is so much stronger. It's so much based on actual relationships with people, and not just like you have one crazy guy and 2 other stereotypes.
Yeah.
I know I didn't vibe with GTA 5. From this trailer, I got the idea that this could be something special alongside a game which is going to be already very special on its own because it's the most expensive game ever for a reason. I know there's going to be a reason to take this long. It's just people, we need to see it, but there's going to be the horse balls. But in GTA, we'll just need to wait a little bit more and figure out what that special mechanic or special mechanics in general are going to be like.
Ken in chat is asking like how you want to make a bet how long until the 18 plus mod for the main character to come out after release. I give it 2 days. Probably less.
2 days is you know what?
Unless they make it very hard to mod the game day one. I mean, no, wait, it's coming out on PlayStation 5 first.
Yeah, and then PC is gonna probably take like a year or
like
something.
A year or so. So I'll give it like a year and 2 days.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But by 24 hours after the PC release, like people are gonna be working on it like nonstop. Like I need to see their dick.
Yeah, here's the thing. I just want people to be equal about this. I want to see boobs. I want to see penis. I want to see everything. Like, if you make a mod, just make a mod for everyone.
2 days on console? Okay, you're already asking for like the PS5 to be cracked like that. I guess.
I guess it already has. Yeah.
I don't even. Actually, I haven't been keeping up with that part of it, which is kind of weird because I do like to know where those advances are. From not from a piracy standpoint or anything. It's more like I like to fuck around with shit. Okay.
Look, I just know Bloodborne runs cracked on PS5.
Exactly.
And that's all I know, but I know it works.
Exactly. So, like I mean, it's one of the reasons like why I want to buy the Switch 2. Like, I guess not day one, but they like close enough to release to have my PS1 cracked in some way or like mod in some way, just to fuck around. I don't even care for playing other games in there. Just like, yeah, I want to see if YouTube runs or if I can port Doom on Linux on this shit and see if it works.
It's always fascinating. I'm not usually much into, but I always like to hear your stories about whether someone you follow is running this specific thing on this specific console, or even your stories whenever you try to.
Yeah, they ported Balatro for Nintendo DS, like fan made. So
That is great.
it's one of the things like I don't think the console can even run that game properly. Like when you get to the lower tiers, to the upper tiers, because of like it's so many calculations.
Oof, yeah.
Does Rini have any other socials? It does. Yeah. I can actually. I don't know. Like you want to advertise your socials? Also, if you want.
Yeah, I'm usually, what do I use actually?
It's X.
I guess Twitch. I do have a YouTube channel, but I've been working on a video for like 2
years at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I guess where I'm most active is definitely X. A bit on Instagram, but Instagram is more like personal. So yeah, I guess X and Twitch. Even though Twitch, it's been like a year since I've streamed.
If you want to see Rene work out, you definitely should follow him on Instagram, I guess.
Not even that.
Not even
actually.
that.
Not even that. Yeah, I've been, I don't think I've not been very active. I think for what it is, I still am very active on Twitter and X or X whatever. Even though that website is a shit show, but
True.
10 months ago, last Twitch video. Yeah, it's been definitely been a while.
Put it on chat, and I can pin there. That's for sure. But yeah, GTA. I'm definitely not I'm not looking forward to this game, at least for now. Feels like a year apart. Maybe I'll get hype when the trailer comes, or the day comes, or the pre-orders arrive. But it's one of those games I feel like I need time, most of all, to engage in this game and do stuff around it. And I feel like I'm at the point in my life where games that take as long as a GTA, which is definitely more on the casual side, I guess. Being me more into indie stuff and stuff like that, will probably not play this on day one, especially if I don't upgrade my PC. That way, even if I want to, there's no way this game runs on this, unless I can get it to 3020p and run it on Dreamcast, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the problem, I guess. For me, it's much more exciting because I know this game is gonna run properly on base PS5 and Xbox Series X. Obviously, I can take advantage of the PS5 Pro. But yeah, I know they're gonna optimize well for those consoles.
I do. I was working on that video game store that we talked about when GTA 5 PC version came out. Actually, and I remember people taking the game home, and we were always just warning the customers, just hey, this is a PC code, if we input it, you can't give the game back, because it's bound to your account now, and you need to make sure that the game, if you have the specs, and even people with the specs were struggling hard to get the game running on their computer. So a lot of people would come in next day or the day after, and even then trying to return a game that was basically an empty case at that point. We told you,
the fact that you were selling that game when you were working there
13 years ago, man. It's crazy to think about.
It just hit me. It is insane how long GTA 5 has been out, and the fact that we don't have a GTA 6. It's nuts. I don't even. Damn, that hit me. That really hit me. It's been a lifetime.
Oh man! In other news, you probably heard of this game. It was a small game back in the 360 era. Gears of War. It's there's how do I explain this game? There's a guy, he's very big, he has a do-rag, right? He has a thing on his head, a handkerchief that's wrapped up, and his weapon has a chainsaw, right? His weapon has a chainsaw on the underside. It's a machine gun with a chainsaw.
Beautiful.
And they also look like football. They all look like football players for some reason because they're thick as fuck.
They're definitely on steroids. I'll tell you that much. They're definitely steroids.
You know, like it's no one knew. I think no one played this game back in the day. Just no. Anyway, they're releasing the game again to a remastered. I think that's what led me to believe Gears of War Reloaded coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Which again, for me, the craziest thing about this is hearing Gears of War on PlayStation 5. You know, like one of the major franchises of Xbox back in the day. Like everyone was playing it. Like me and you played it like for fuck ton of hours. Everyone we knew like back in the day was playing Gears of War. We had LAN parties playing Gears of War. We had meetings because of Gears of War. A lot of our friends that we made from back in the day were from Gears of War.
Yeah, crazy.
And like it's crazy to think like that was like one of the console sellers at the time. Like, oh yeah, like Xbox, like what does PlayStation have? Like what was it? Resistance? Bah, Killzone? No one cares about that shit. Like it was Gears of War. Gears of War was a shit. We had, you know, extremely masculine dudes with chainsaws for their as a machine gun that could rip people apart. And we were playing this, you know, I think almost every fucking night.
It was crazy. Yeah, we were getting together. Like there were spare people for the team. There was always someone trying to get in. Like the team was always full. There was always people to play. This was the craziest. It's crazy to think about that. Such a huge game and such an important game for Xbox is now. This is like the clear message. Yeah, it's done now. It's everywhere. And honestly,
just
our opinion is the same. The more people that get to play video games, the better. If Xbox continues to make like good games and continues their franchises and makes and doesn't close studios, okay, that's yep. If they keep doing this and release everywhere, that's fucking awesome. And Gears of War for such a special game. I'm so again biased, very excited for this. I have played Gears of War, the first one. I have played the remaster version. This game is gonna come out. My wife hasn't played this. I'm gonna buy her the PS5 version. I am gonna have access to the version for free because I have Ultimate Edition, which, by the way, I think is a beautiful move, and it's not really seen with the remasters of remasters. Every time that we get a remaster of a remaster, you usually have to buy it again. It's gonna be free if you purchased it before the day that it was announced. I think it's great. So I'm gonna have the game. I'm gonna buy the game for PS5, and we're both gonna play this. And this is back in the day, man. It's. I have so much fond memories of us playing Gears of War. This game is so fucking good. I think Gears of War 1 is one of the best. I think it's the best Gears of War. The music was so special. The violence, the story was good. It was not anything to write home about, but it was still really good. It's such a special game. Like the way you move, the wall bouncing, the weapons, the feeling you have from headshotting someone with that sniper, the sound effects.
I do have like some mixed feelings about this release, to be honest. Because one of them, it's like. Sure, I love the fact that they're bringing like Gears back. I think like bringing Gears 1, it's the part where I'm mixed about it, because it's like they could. People are waiting for a Gear 6, I think, right?
It's the E-Day, which is going to be a prequel.
But people are waiting for like Gear 6 for like. At least the fans, right, are waiting for a Gear 6 for so many years at this point, and they releasing a sequel, I guess a release of the first game, feels a little bit weird. I'm not gonna say like it's bad or anything. It's like it's just it feels weird for them to like in the middle of the process of, hey, we're making Gear 6. Here's the first one again. Like, okay, but at the same time, I feel like I feel Gears is not the system seller, that used to be back in like 2 generations ago.
That I think that's the problem with in general. That is the problem with Xbox. They lost all their systems.
And so like the people that are really excited about a Gears of War Ultimate Edition release, the Gears of War Reloaded thing. Sorry, Ultimate Edition is the other. It's the first remaster.
Yeah, it's the first remaster.
I think it comes down to old people at this point, which it is like the if you talk to the kids, like I bet no one knows what a Gears of War is.
But that's the thing. That is exactly the point.
They'll begin like to maybe know what Gears of War is, but I feel like the people that were really excited about this announcement was the old guys that were playing with us.
I think that this is the smartest way they could have gone about it. Obviously, Gears of War E-Day is a prequel to this game, and E-Day will be released on PlayStation.
Yeah,
there is a story of player. There's a player base for this game on Xbox. There isn't one on PlayStation yet, and this is a very expensive game. So re-releasing the first one, which is the best, not only the best but also the first one. It's the way you go into the franchise. Before you release the prequel on that new platform, which is PlayStation, I think is just super smart, and especially if you advertise it this way, if you market it this way, if you're on Xbox, obviously you get the game on Game Pass, but also if you have purchased the previous remaster, you get it for free.
Yeah,
but
and also it's like $40.
It's also $40.
It's not even full price, which is pretty cool as well, because like it's a way more accessible pricing for people that kind of want to know the franchise but are not sure if they want to shell out $80 or €90 for whatever.
And then now you have the game on PS5, and this is a very, it's a lower starting point for you to get people hooked on this game, and wait for Gears of War E-Day. And not only that, this game comes with multiplayer, cross-platform, and cross-progression between every single platform. It's just crazy. It's for me, it's one of those situations where it's sad that Microsoft is doing so many things right, and it's doing so many things where the industry should follow, but then it fumbles so hard on everything else. Yeah. And it's sad because they're doing so much stuff right. If you compare this to other remasters of other platforms where you get pretty much the most basic stuff you can, sometimes not even online or not crossplay. If you compare it to this, I think they're doing a great job, and it's smart. It's a way to kickstart people getting excited for Gears of War again, and especially on PS5, which I think, like we old people, we're getting excited about Gears of War. The new guys need to learn what like a third-person shooter with wall bouncing techniques is gonna be like, and like sawing monsters in half with your gun. It's amazing. I think it's a very good opportunity to show a new generation of people what Gears of War is all about, especially again on. I'm
going to say like one thing that I think it's maybe missing, and maybe it's because like we mostly play the three first entries of that franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of grew up with the beginnings of Gears of War. It's the fact that. I guess it's like more on the downside. The multiplayer on the first one, I did not play it as much. We definitely play more on the third entry. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I think I'm gonna miss on this game, it's the lack of horde mode. Unless they're bringing it back for some reason, but I don't think that will happen.
Horde mode is cool.
But multiplayer on this game, as you said, like the movement tech, it's very aggressive. Like the rolling around, the bouncing, the wall bouncing, the shotgun and the canceling of the weapons, like the active reload stuff. Like it's pretty neat. But also I feel there's a really high skill ceiling to achieve in that game that will maybe put off some of the most casual players nowadays, and like because if you look at high level gameplay of Gears of War, what you'll see is like people just rolling around on the floor and like bouncing off the walls, like going crazy hard on everybody,
sticking to the walls.
sticking to the walls. Like, what the fuck is happening in this game? Why are people just like walking like this? And like we know why, right? But people that are not familiar with the franchise might be kind of put off by that aspect of the multiplayer, and only having, I guess, deathmatch or like what was similar to deathmatch like compared to the next entries of that franchise. I guess it's a more bare bones multiplayer. I wish they brought like, okay, it's gonna be reloaded, but also we're bringing like horde mode. I think that would be kind of neat, because horde mode was kind of cool, like the 50 wave stuff, the like the co-op experience of the game. I think it's the thing that I've missed the most about the whole franchise is the horde mode on Gears of War 3.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Me falling asleep on wave 48 as well.
And blocking us in the staircase.
Blocking the staircase, and you guys trying to like save me from not dying while I was snoring at 2 a.m.
I can see the major complaint being headshots do nothing.
No, but headshots do a lot. If you like sniper rifle and all that, like you could do headshots for sure.
Or shotgun. If you hit with a shotgun in the head, it's like a straight up pop, and the sound effect is beautiful. It's
like just absolutely like pop. The core and the whole thing, it's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, like I don't know, like it was weird the fact that they announced this for, you know, like before E-Day came out. It's kind of it's like a lot of mixed feelings at the same time. Like 40 euros or $40 for a Gears of War remastered, and hopefully, I'm gonna say this, hopefully, I hope it's Steam Deck verified, because playing this shit on the go might be like a very good way of selling me this game immediately as it comes out for me to play online, which is cool. You know, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Again, like obviously I'm a huge fan of Gears of War, especially the first one. I think this first one, mostly due to how dark it is in tone, and also like the soundtrack is so much better.
They really went all action, right, on the second and third.
Yeah, they went a little overboard for my taste. You know, it's my own taste. So I'm very excited, and also like wife does not play first-person shooters because she gets motion
sickness. Yeah,
but it's a third-person shooter, so like I'm just excited to be able to play this game again now in 4K HDR. It's a beautiful game. It's always been a beautiful game graphically, but now I get to play with the wife, get to experience a new co-op game with her. So yeah, I'm excited. And by the way, I think, and this regarding the headshots thing, I think most weapons actually hit more if you aim for the head, like the pistol. I think the pistol.
I just think that pistol also had more damage. Is the torque bow in
the
one?
Torque bow? Yeah. If you hit the head, it's like it also pops. I think it's the pistol, the Magnum, like the big. Yeah. Most of them actually do more headshot. I think it's the rifle. The rifle is the only one that does no extra damage.
Yeah, because you have the melee upper hand with the rifle, I guess. And remember the clashes with like where you had to match me. That's gonna be fun to watch again. That's for sure.
Oh, what a game! This is such a gem. I'm very I'm just now realizing how excited I am to play this game again. And honestly, I'm gonna be playing this game. When they re-released it, I played it for a while with two friends actually. Marcio and Joel.
Oh right,
yeah. They played a lot of this game with me when the Ultimate Edition came out. I honestly feel like I'm gonna do it again because I love the online for this game so much. I love how this game plays so much that I'm very excited to play this game again.
I mean, if there's like Steam Deck verification, I might join on that
Let's
offer
go.
as well.
Let's go.
The old gang is back.
Yeah.
We're gonna go through like a couple more news, and then we'll talk about a little bit of the state of the gaming journalism thing. This came from Sea Lion and chat. Classic offensive. Valve is Okay, so I'm gonna put this like even bigger because I can barely read. Classic Offensive. After 8 years of development and despite being officially greenlit by Valve in 2017, we are devastated to announce the cancellation of Classic Offensive. This decision follows abrupt actions by Valve that prevent us from releasing or continuing development on the project. Following our greenlit approval 7 years ago, we were granted Steamworks access and continued development, navigating technical challenges and CSGO updates, all with clear expectations of bringing Classic Offensive to the community via Steam. We submitted our build to review in October 2024, only to have the project unexpectedly rejected in January 2025, with a generic response stating was not a good fit, despite our prior greenlit status. Okay. I'm kind of on the loss here with the Classic Offensive. I guess this is like remake of the original Counter-Strike. Okay, so Valve shut it down. I mean, at this point, like with the way Counter-Strike is going and the way they're pushing the players to, you know, be all in the same place. Obviously, it's a shitty decision by Valve, especially if they greenlit this project before you know, prior, and they especially like so long ago, 7 years ago.
Yeah, it's mostly insane that they, first of all, that they allowed this to begin with, and they said that they were okay with it.
Yeah.
But then to go back on their word and just you know, flush 8 years of work down the drain it's really sucky, man. It's, can you imagine people working on this for 8 years and you know, having been greenlit by Valve, and then all of a sudden, yeah, this is not good.
Yeah. Valve's current stance appears to be that modding is now only allowed under very narrow conditions. Skins and map published through Steam Workshop for a currently active Valve game. Maps developed using Valve Hammer Editor, distributed on the Steam Workshop or third parties. Original non-commercial games created with Source SDK 2013 that do not use Valve's IP. Mods based on Half-Life 2 or Team Fortress using Source SDK 2013 with defined guidelines. Projects that have been received explicitly licensing from Valve, so that would be the case of Black Mesa, for instance. The Half-Life 1 remake, I guess. This interpretation effectively prohibits community-driven source mods or skins. This position stands on stark contrast with Valve's own greenlit approval of Classic Offensive, their historical tolerance and benefit from extensive modding communities, and the previous 3 decades of modding tradition that shaped many of their successful games. I get it. I like sucks for these devs. Obviously, like, no, that's not even a thing to begin with. The other thing is that, you know, CSGO is, I guess, in terms of games, not obviously in terms of platform, because that's where Valve gets his money from. But in terms of games, like Counter-Strike is the thing that drives a lot of sales for Valve, especially with the cases, with the skins and all that. So it makes sense for them to, you know, get people away from older games. Or games that might, you know, take away their player base from the Counter-Strike that they're actively developing. So under these new terms of service, any mod for any Valve game or on any third-party site is now subject to potential cease and desist, the MCA. You know, like, I don't think, like, I'm not very much into CS community, to be honest. So like, my stakes here are pretty low overall, and my knowledge is not very extensive. But yeah, that's what I was getting at. Like, they want people to keep being tempted to gamble for skins, because that's where they, you know, Valve has been. We praise Valve a lot for a lot of different stuff that they honestly should be praised. You probably
they deserve some of that praise for sure.
You know, Steam Deck being Linux and open source, and SteamOS being open source, it's pretty cool. The fact that they, you know, like you can just get your games up on Steam. Like, you obviously you pay $100 to get your games up on Steam, but you can just pay there to get those games there, as long as they're not, you know, infringing on anything. It's overall like a pretty chill content company for, and they have the monopoly, like wanting or not, like with all the stuff that's bad, they still have the monopoly on gaming almost by accident, because they were the first to come with an online digital distribution platform, or at least one of the first ones that really developed one. And the fact that no one else can actually get to the quality that you have right now. I know people like to bring up, oh yeah, like you have Epic now, you have other storefronts, but the fact is that those storefronts do not offer the same type of, I guess, like commodities that Valve has or Steam has, with forums, reviews, and stuff that you can actually interact with other players to see if the game is good or not. Ubisoft wanted to have it, yeah.
Which they keep improving as well.
And they keep improving, exactly.
Even though they have the monopoly, they keep trying to make things better, and which is something that's not very common. They want to make things better for everyone, even the user and the players, which is, sometimes when corporations corporate, they screw us up. And Valve, I think, they always are going to be a corporation, and they always ask after the money, but they make an effort to actually make things better for us, which is something that is rare, and again, they should be praised for. But yeah, like the way I just wonder if there would have been a better way to go about it, even if it means that you have to monetize this in a way where Valve is the one benefiting the most. I don't know, like. I think they're
the problem is that, like, and this is like, you can check a video by YouTuber CoffeeZilla, I guess. Valve's like gambling part of Counter-Strike, it's so ingrained in their ecosystem for like the fact that they make a lot of money from it. There's like a lot of third-party websites where you can gamble for skins and loot boxes or loot crates, whatever you want to call that. That keeps the money rolling, and Valve does not actively promote those websites, but they also don't actively take them down, because it's in obviously their best interest is to keep those sites alive for like, unless it gets too bad, and if you look at it's a 3-part documentary from CoffeeZilla. That thing is like, there's some mafia shit, okay, going on with those websites. I'm talking about like physical active threats, like people banging on each other's houses, like doorstep, and like threatening to kill people over gambling shit with Counter-Strike. It's pretty fucked up. Like, if you dig into that perspective, the more you dig, is like, holy shit, what's going on? Like, it's the dark side of Valve, and it's pretty dark. Like, it's not like, oh, like Valve, it's like, it's a, like we complain a lot about corporations fucking people over within legal limits for some reason, but Valve is like, holy shit, this is really fucked up shit. People getting accused of like being the cause for suicide of other people. Like, it's really like, the more you think, it's like, Jesus Christ. So like, reading this statement and saying like, hey, they want, and telling me, hey, we want to just keep people in Counter-Strike too. It's like, yeah, that it sucks. Obviously it sucks, but at the same time, it's like, I don't see anywhere else this could go with a classic Counter-Strike coming out, and people like maybe flocking a little bit, like, oh yeah, like this is, especially because there's all these people that are not happy with the current state of their favorite game. Happens to us all the time, like with fighting games, I guess. And they kind of flock to the previous games. And it's something like you don't want to do if you're actively promoting and like trying people to stay in your loot box ecosystem.
It's just that in a way you understand why they did this, because it's the way everybody does business, and it's what we are expecting. This being greenlit in 2017 is the one thing I I wouldn't expect.
It's the shittiest thing about it, right? Like they just complete 180.
Yeah, that's the part that really fucking sucks. The rest I understand because like it has always happened. And like again, you're changing a game and you're putting the game on Steam that is competing with the platform itself. Sure, like I understand why why that would happen. It's just them greenlighting is just fucking crazy, and then taking it away,
and then going away. Like
yeah, that sucks. That really fucking sucks.
All right, last piece of news, or rather, like the small piece of news before we go into the other talk.
Crazy. This one's crazy.
This one is actually crazy to me. Like a new Echo the Dolphin is coming, as well as the remasters of the first 2 games, remastered by the original creators of all the people, which was something that I kind of find it cool. I'm not gonna lie. Annunziata, who created, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this name correctly because it's not an easy pronounce. Annunziata. Who created and designed the first 2 Echo the Dolphin games on Mega Drive. I refuse to say Genesis, fuck off. And produced its spin-off aimed at younger players, Echo Jr., was asked if the future holds for Echo series. Me and the original team... So this is the part that I really find it really funny, okay? Because me and the entire team are going to remaster the original Echo the Dolphin and Tides of Time games, he replied. Then we will make a new 3rd game with contemporary play and GPU sensibilities. Here's the thing. Me and you, we know the 3rd game already because it came out on Dreamcast, okay?
And it was not good.
And it was not good. And them just going like, we'll make a 3rd game. It's like just shitting completely on the Dreamcast one. Just like, yeah, the game was absolutely shit. We do not we don't care about that shit.
Here's my question though. What is your because we played the originals.
We played the original. Okay.
I don't remember much. Were they good?
I'm gonna say this. Played the originals might be too strong of a statement to say that I touched those games. I put what do I type to see the contemporary? I don't know, man. I don't know what do you mean contemporary play. The thing is I remember having the game. I got it on places, okay. And I played on the PC. I did not play that thing on the... I actually remember playing that on the Dreamcast as well for some reason.
Yeah.
Not at my place, but someone that I knew had it.
Well, I definitely had it.
And I remember playing that game and never leaving the first level because I couldn't understand shit of that game. But the sprites were nice, I guess, and I could jump out the water and pretend to be Flipper.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, and I'm looking at footage as we speak. I'm looking at footage of the game on the side, and yeah, I guess there's potential. Maybe if this was a Metroidvania, I don't know.
I have no idea what this game even was back in 1992. You know,
this is crazy.
I don't know. Saying that Echo was my childhood. It goes places at the end. I believe it. I believe it. Okay. I'm not searching the final boss for one reason. I know it goes to aliens and shit. Okay, I've seen it. So yeah, spoilers alert. There's aliens. Okay. But I kind of now want to play the game and see what you had to do in this game to complete it, because I was maybe 8-10 years old at that time. Maybe max, I'm gonna say 12 years old max at the time.
I am pretty sure
I couldn't understand shit.
I've played a remaster of this game on Xbox 360. Exactly, I did. And I played it okay, so 17 years ago I played Echo the Dolphin on Xbox 360. As I'm seeing here, I'm looking at my profile. And I remember vaguely about that experience.
Okay.
And it wasn't terrible, I remember. It's just it's a game where you don't do much. I'm just wondering how you can modernize this. Making it 3D, I don't think is going to work.
I mean, we've seen this on the Dreamcast, and it was
a bad. That one was bad, I remember. And if it was bad back then, I'm sure it's gonna be
I don't think it's a matter of graphics at this point.
Yeah, it's like if we play it now, there's usually that when you play games from your childhood where they are worse than you remember. Imagine if you played Echo.
Yeah, if at the time you're like, oh man, this feels like shit.
Yeah, we didn't even understand about video games, but we knew that game was bad.
I mean, I still don't, but I just play them. But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, we play more. I would like maybe if you make this a Metroidvania where you unlock, like, look, it's a dolphin, yeah, but also he fights against aliens. Give him power-ups. Maybe you have a Metroidvania where it's like there's different biomes and different abilities that open up new areas and new enemy.
So at this point, you're just talking Dave the Diver.
Yes, but with a dolphin.
But with a fucking dolphin, I guess. But yeah, like I don't know. I thought this was crazy. I know, you know, Sega's been bringing back their franchises slowly. They announced a new Crazy Taxi, or they are hinting at a new Crazy Taxi, a new Jet Set Radio, and this was teased a few months back at some interview that I don't remember. But the fact they are actually like coming out and saying like, yeah, we are remastering the first two and making a new one, and I'm like, oh, okay. Why though? Why Echo? It's one of the, like, if we are talking about, you know, we were talking about Gears of War Reloaded being for old people. And people being the people that got really excited about the Gears of War Reloaded were the old guys. Who's excited for a new Echo at this point? Like, is it the retirement plan? The guys, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, look, unless it turns out to be a fucking great.
And it turns out, yeah, maybe we'll go back and it's like, turns out this is actually the shit.
Look. I'm okay. I'm a little bit excited, mostly to know what this game is gonna be about.
I think it's more like, what does an Echo the Dolphin mean?
A modern one
in 2026, right? What does releasing an Echo the Dolphin modern version?
Yeah, for me, again,
like?
For me, it's the Metroidvania. I think like for a game that is mostly like, as Kane was saying, is like a maze game. Yeah, if you make it a Metroidvania, that makes sense, right? I think that's the obvious evolution for a game like this. Look, if it's a good one, if it has good mechanics and good upgrades and you know, good new abilities that you can gain, new areas and biomes, it could work, I guess. But I don't know if they're gonna go that route. Just gonna do this sort of like the same. I don't know. It's very confusing, but I'm also excited, I guess.
Yeah. It's also 1 year away, so like it's either this or GTA 6. You know, like. One or the other. If Echo ends up like being Game of the Year instead of GTA 6, we'll know where we were on the side of the history, and if
we'll know.
We'll see. And yeah, for the last piece of news that we wanted to discuss, which is actually why I wanted to bring you in, because we do watch a lot of, you know, games media. We'll listen to a lot of podcasts. Or at least parts of podcasts, because we don't have time to listen to them all. But gaming website Polygon, which was launched in 2012 by Vox Media, has been sold to Canadian publisher Valnet, owner of Game Rant, Fextra Life, The Gamer, and a number of other online entertainment, sports, and hobbyist publications. Which I'm gonna make an addendum here. One of the most horrid collections of websites I ever laid my eyes on. Okay,
yes, this is terrible.
Game Rant, Facts for Life, The Gamer, they're just like fucking leechers at this point, and I hate what those websites have become.
Game Rant specifically, there's a few websites that do these fucking clickbaits with fake news that just, it pisses me off so much. And you know, sometimes they do. I'm not saying that they don't do good work, but I don't know. Some of the stuff they do is just clickbaity shit that deceives people. And honestly, like, yeah, this is the weirdest collection of websites you could possibly put together.
Yeah, and obviously, like, gaming news have not been like great for the longest time right now. Like, a lot of media aggregators are buying these websites and like putting them under not even like one single brand, but they're under one roof, I guess. You got Ziff Davies with a bunch of gaming websites like Rock Paper Shotgun. You got IGN, you got Eurogamer. You have Fandom with Giant Bomb and GameSpot on the same roof as well. Valnet now owns Polygon. But the other thing about this is that Valnet also fired most of the staff on Polygon and replaced it with, new people that, according to some former employees from Valnet, are probably being underpaid, understaffed, and overworked. So if you were into Polygon news, or if you tune into that website, there were some cool guys that I liked watching there. Chris Plante, which was the main editor, the lead editor for that website, had some pretty cool articles back then. I'm forgetting his name, but his handle on Twitter is Pizza Suplex, which is really, really funny, and that's why I remember him. He also had some really cool videos over there. And they're all like out of work now, which this also comes hand in hand with what happened in Giant Bomb last week, with Jeff Grubb and Dan Reichert also going away from that website. Reichert apparently was fired. Jeff Grubb apparently kind of quit in some fashion.
I think that I heard he like the same day he was on the Kind of Funny podcast, and I think I remember him saying like he specifically quit because it was probably not happy with how shit was turning out. It was like, nah.
Longtime contributor of that website, Mike Minotti, says he's not going to contribute anymore because like he's mostly friends with Jeff Grubb, so like he's not going to be there if like they're not paying him to be there, obviously. So he's continuing with Grubb on this website, Games Mess, actually, from Jeff Grubb. As well as like we don't know about the rest of the people that work there and on GameSpot. Jan and Jean-Luc also like are still there apparently, but we actually don't know. Jan actually mentioned on their Discord to stop venuming, I don't know, like PayPaling him basically. He says he still has a job. Tamur, we don't know. Tamur Hussein, also from GameSpot, removes his Giant Bomb and GameSpot handle from his accounts.
What about Lucy? Is Lucy still?
Lucy, we haven't heard official news, but like she didn't alter her handle in any way, shape, or form. So hopefully she still has a job there. And like this is not in specific. Like I know like people complain about gaming websites being shit and gaming news being mostly disconnected now from the majority of people. Like I think there's now a pretty big disconnect between people reporting games on this major publications and the majority of gamers that like to speak about games, right? I'm not talking about, maybe not the casuals, is not the correct word, but people who engage in talking about video games on the internet, and most of those people actually pivoted to video content. Like most of them are YouTubers. Most of them are people that have video essays or like that's how we engage in gaming discussion. And like I feel this is a problem most of all because like I feel like those two things fill up a different need in the space, right? You have the YouTubers. Obviously, I'm not going to count people that left traditional gaming websites and traditional games media to become content creators. Like you have the case of Jeff Gersman. You have Dan Reichert as well, who also has a Twitch channel that he streams very often. But people who like don't come from a journalist background and go to and start their games coverage as YouTubers or like content creators. And I feel like these two things would complement each other most of all, because a lot of people are reading off these gaming news and like putting their own spin on it on a video. And then also, but then also, like, you have the opposite, where like YouTuber does something cool and news games report on it. And I feel like it's becoming like an end of an era where like you have less and less websites. A lot of them are like being turned into content mills. So like I guess Guides. You have a lot of AI articles as well, which is a big yikes, I guess. And I think the major problem for me is that a games journalist usually has, or usually, okay, I'm going to say usually with big emphasis, has a lot more care on what he has to write, and there's a whole team behind a journalism website that kind of supports, like, they have ways of verifying sources, ways of verifying the information that was given, and the lead editor,
by the way,
right?
that's why journalism is hard. Actual journalism and like proper journalism.
Exactly. Like I feel like we are not losing anything with like not having game reviews, because game reviews, I think everyone nowadays can have an opinion on a game, like we just did, like with Blueprints on this episode. Like everyone can make a video, can make a text saying, hey, I kind of like this game because of this and that. I give it a 6, I give it a 10, whatever.
And it's always, every opinion is valid, provided you like, if you know me, if you know Fgeitas, and you know our opinion about general gaming, and you vibe with your opinion, then if we give you an opinion about a different video game, if you agree with us on the other games, you're probably gonna like it. Yeah. And I think that like it's still valid. I think the like reviews are not going anywhere, and it's much more consumable on YouTube as well.
It's more about the rest of the reporting. Like you have stuff like Jason Schreier reporting on layoffs, on what's going on behind the on what's going on behind the scenes, right? Because Schreier has access to stuff we don't. I can't just like text Blizzard and say, "Hey, is there anything shitty going on?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's kind of fucked over here. Here's the tea." Like I can try. They're not gonna give me anything, that's for sure. Like I don't have that ability, right? It's those pieces. It's the report on wargaming from People Make Games or the Roblox piece that they made. It's the the opinion piece about the industry standards or the accessibility options that caused a lot of stir when Dark Souls 3 came out and Elden Ring came out.
Yeah, which is, again, it was a bit controversial, but it created a conversation. It's like, it's good work that we're gonna be missing out, and I feel like this is gonna happen more until those types of opinions just don't show up anymore. And I think in a way, unfortunately, it kind of makes sense, because I think there's not a lot of people that are interested in knowing what goes on behind the scenes. Me and you, we are interested. This is like this is a business. The business side of gaming, which is our passion, is something that also interests us. Not only because of the business, but also because we know there's real people attached to making the video games that we love, that are affected by everything that goes on around. And we know that we like that, but it's I don't feel like, I think we're such a niche. And from what companies expect and how inflation has been going around, and I think it was a matter of
the
time.
Economy, just like
I think it was a matter of time before this happened. Like you said, it's just much more easier for people to go on YouTube and do things differently, because not a lot of people are reading those kinds of articles. Guides will probably always do well, because you can read a guide pretty easily, which is something that these websites. but opinion pieces on something, especially something so niche as what's going on behind the scenes, most people don't give a fuck. They want to know, is my game a 8? Can I buy this game? Is my game a 6, but I'm gonna buy it anyway because I already wanted to buy it, and I'm gonna complain about the 6? That's what casuals are into more.
Yeah.
And I think it was just a matter of time. It sucks. It really fucking sucks. But in a way, it's like, yeah, I guess this was expected to happen, unless, for example, Jeff Grubb. Jeff Grubb will continue to do his thing because he's built an audience big enough that he will get supported by his audience. People will keep supporting him, and he's going to be fine doing what he always does and being like this voice of you know, you trust Jeff Grubb. You know, if it's coming out of him, it's most likely true because he's not coming up with anything on his own. Someone told him, and he has like good sources. He's built that reputation. But there's a lot of people losing their jobs, which are gonna probably end up doing something like, I'm gonna write guides for this specific website, or I'm gonna go on YouTube and try to make my thing over there,
or leave the industry like for good and probably never coming back.
Yeah.
And the thing is also like, as I mean, I probably follow more this website than you do, but you obviously like you have Kind of Funny, which is probably like the only successful website that I've seen, like, you know, built from the ground up from that era, I guess. But from Giant Bomb, like, you've seen a lot of people come and go through Giant Bomb, even now as their founders like went away. And you always had Jeff, Alex, Brad, Vinny, and Ryan until he passed away, obviously. But at the same time, it's like you had people going through there, like, you know, Greg Kaczynski, that's now like the director of Hades. So he went away from media and decides to just make games. But you also have Patrick Klepek, who has his own Substack, I think. Now, you know, Jeff Gerstmann is also doing his solo thing. Brad, Alex, and Vinny have Nextlander. You got Abby Russell, who also does her own thing on Twitch. And people like, you know, the Aftermath guys that left Kotaku and now have like a small group. One of them is like the Chris Pearson from the Highlight Reel guy as well. Second Wind, that came from the Escapists. But one thing that like go through my mind is how many of the people supporting these different groups are not the same people, right? And there's so much money to go around. Like I can support 2-3 creators maybe for if I'm lucky enough. At the same time, if there's only, you know, Patreon-funded gaming journalism and IGN giving 7 out of 10s to everything, like how much more money I can spend a month for to support, you know, what I like to read, what I like, the cool behind the scenes story. It's super hard.
And not only that, like, again, we are privileged in a way that we fortunately we can support the content that we like, and it's something that I've been doing. Kind of Funny, as you mentioned, it's the one I go to because it's very easily digestible for me. It's video format. They touch on the subjects. They're very there's a lot of different opinions, which is always super cool to have. I've been watching them since the pandemic, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to support what they do because they give me so much and I want to give them back, right?
Yeah.
But like, it's still $9 a month that I support them with. If there were more that I wanted to support, it would get tough because it's like, yeah, there's only so much, and we are a niche. We that love watching this type of content, and me and you, like, it's still like we have passion for the same thing, but still different content that we consume anyway. But like, there's only so much we can do, and since we are already a niche, yeah, most of us are shared. And the as I was saying, Jeff Grubb, as soon as he quit, he was on Kind of Funny. Jason Schreier, which is someone I love. Most of the content that I consume from Jason Schreier comes up on Kind of Funny, and he gets invited as well. So yeah, like I think there's a lot of crossover, like you said, and
Yeah.
it gets to a point where there's only so much the niche that this part of the industry can do to support the content that they love. It's tough, man. It's a tough situation, and I feel like, yeah, it's like kind of funny is doing well because they are only supported by the people, and I think they were smart, but also they got lucky, with the way they created their audience. When there are big corporations messing around with stuff, they want to see revenue. They want to, like, sometimes revenue is not in line with what people like the most. And that's when it starts falling apart. And if you're not private, if you're not like supported by people nowadays,
Yeah.
and you're not able to do content for the people, it's gonna fall apart eventually, and it's sad. I think this is also like parallel with the industry itself. Like, it feels like everything is falling apart, and it's scary.
It does feel like it's paralleling it's going hand in hand with what the industry is like the video game industry is right now, with AAA budgets going completely overboard, with people getting fired left and right because of bad investors' decisions, and it sucks especially for people at Polygon that like got themselves caught up in the sale for another corporation, and at the same time, like, it's especially coming from Valnet, as quite a shitty rep since the beginning. So as I was like searching for what Valnet was and what they owned, I found out like their founders basically started their business by doing online porn. Okay, so look, nothing against porn. Okay, porn, as long as it's
very cool.
Porn, very cool. Unless you're these guys and you guys find out that you are hosting raping on their website, and your reaction to that is like, we'll figure it out.
Cool.
That was their reaction in, I think it was 2006, I believe. I might have getting the date wrong, but that was the reaction from not Valnet at the time, but it was Brazzers and the Interhub. So already like getting bought by these people, it's like, oh, okay, and then immediately like getting fired. And getting replaced by people that are probably understaffed, overworked, and underpaid. It's like I couldn't see anything shittier happening to Polygon staff.
Let's be honest. Whenever we see news of something that we like being bought by a bigger company, it usually ends up bad.
Yeah. At the same time, like there's this thing that like they were owned by other people, right? They were owned by Vox Media. The thing is, would they be sold if the site was doing well, right? If the site was doing well, Vox Media would probably not wasn't selling the website if the site was doing well. So on one hand, like, it was probably getting sold or getting deleted anyway, so the website is still there. But at least keep the people. If you're buying the website, just keep the people, because that's what makes the website, I guess.
Yeah, it's just sucky, man. It sucks, and again, like, it's to end on such a bad note. It's horrible, but it's just like, it is scary for and again, it's scary for us. And I'm saying this with no, there's not much at stake for me, but like, it sucks for me as one who loves this industry, but it sucks people who have invested their whole fucking lives on, and now they're just there's not much to go on. Like, there's no way to go. You're people are getting tired of the industry and just leaving altogether. and it sucks because it's such a passionate industry, and I think it's just gotten too big for its own.
Yeah, I think it's also like you said, like not only for like obviously the people that are working, but the communities as well. Like the fact that, for instance, Giant Bomb is probably like on their last legs. It's the fact that that community, like, that goes on the website every day and talks on forums and contributes to the wiki on their website, and like, you know, comments on the videos and sends emails for them to read and all that. You know, like if that site shuts down, it's like they have no other communities to go.
Yeah.
It's not about a Discord. It's not about like a forum or anything else. It's like there's nothing like it currently on the market right now. Because it's you know, it's legacy at this point. Like I don't see a world where that thing happens nowadays, where you find a website and you go on a website, you create a username, and you go there and talk on a forum every day. It's all Discord and Twitter, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's a very old school.
It's a very old school way of, and those people that are on those communities, like if that website shuts down, it's like, well, I guess this is it. Like that was my contact with gaming culture, and I don't want to deal with whatever the fuck Elon is doing with Twitter, or I want to deal with, you know, creating an account on Blue Sky or having a Discord at all, because like I don't care for people for hanging in voice chat or like having written text just disappearing overnight because, you know, 100 other people talked after you and you don't have the thread anymore. It's just like a completely random conversation. Yeah, you know, sucks. Good luck for people at Polygon and at finding, you know, other place to be. Also for, you know, other media outlets that, you know, are going through a tough phase. Grub and Minotti and all those people. Because I think we need these as well. Like we need both. We need the YouTubers doing rage bait content for us to laugh at, and maybe some good opinions on the middle. And we need, you know, like other websites than IGN giving a 7 out of 10 to everything that it's not Call of Duty.
Yeah, it just seems like there's no future in that. It seems like everyone keeps leaning towards the video because it's what probably generates more revenue, because it's just more easily digestible than having to read something.
Yeah,
obviously, like you don't need to watch the video, you can just with the video is honestly like so extra. It just seems like there's you know, a tendency where, yeah, that's where the money nowadays is, and it's and I'm not saying this about like, oh, it's all about the profits. No, again, kind of funny, they are able to survive because the community is doing something. It's not about making money. It's not getting rich with video games. I don't think anyone like on this space level is interested in that. Maybe the corporations are, but like the people who are making their opinions heard, people who are writing these articles, who are making these videos, mostly they're just making it because they're passionate about this, not about the money. It's just about surviving. And honestly, it gets to a point where I don't see much of a future in any of these written article websites unless they're making guides and they're making stuff like that, and using fucking AI to write stuff and doing stuff like that, which again, like I think it's gonna get to a point where every creator that we know is either gonna leave or they're gonna be doing their own thing and only be successful on a video format or podcast format. Yeah. But yeah, it's a weird time for the industry in general. I think it got too big, way too big for its own good, and we're feeling that it's weird times.
Yeah, we're gonna end on this sad note. But before we leave, like, do you want to? What's going on with you? You want to share what you've been doing? What you wanna leave your links in the chat to say goodbye to people?
I know, if you want to follow me on Twitch, I'll stream every maybe once a year, or whenever Bloodborne Remastered comes out, I'll do the whole level 0 run. I'm mostly active on X, and what I do is mostly I watch movies, I watch video games, and I give you my opinion. I'm a very passionate person, so you'll often find that I'm passionate about shit every time. Every time I'm talking because I'm passionate. I'm not usually the guy who goes on Twitter to complain about a game that he played. If I don't like it, I'm usually I'm not gonna say anything. So yeah, that's what I do on X, and it's unfortunately the platform that I'm most active on.
I mean, I think it's true for both of us.
Yeah, man, it sucks. It sucks. It has been getting worse and worse, but it is, I'm just used to it. One day I'll create a blue sky, maybe. I'll just join because I hear it's much better there. But,
it also got invaded with weirdos over time, so I guess it's just like it's a proto Twitter now.
It's the same shit.
It's the same shit. Yeah. And as for us, this is gonna do it. Thank you, Rene, for being here, by the way, and having this wonderful conversation.
Yeah, this was cool.
We extended a little bit this time, over like half an hour. So I'm sorry.
Because of it was Blueprints.
It was Blueprints. Blueprints gave us a lot to do in these like 3 weeks. And if you missed that part of the podcast, you can check it out later on YouTube. That's it. Like I still haven't done the other platforms. I need to get on with this shit because I need to convert this to an audio format eventually. And yeah, this is gonna do it for us. Thank you once again for being there. If anything doesn't happen, I'll see you guys next Thursday for another show like this.
I'll be in the comments. I'll be in the
Rena will be in the comments.
The chat.
Among the mortals, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, this was fun. Thank you for being on the other side. Thank you for inviting me. This was a very fun conversation. Like you said, we've been talking about Blue. It's about time we actually, spoke about it in because it was mostly text, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't really speak to each other about it. So yeah, I think the podcast format was the best way. So yeah, thank you guys for being there, and thank you for the invite.
Yeah. In the meantime, I'll find you someone to rate. So you guys don't leave the platform, and Twitch actually promotes this Twitch somehow. I don't know how this works. I don't care as well. It's fuck it.
Let's pretend.
Let's pretend we do. Let's check out Roofox. He's testing some demos. I think he's playing White Knuckle right now. White Knuckle is a climbing game. I actually recommended him this demo because White Knuckle is it's probably the Dark Souls of climbing games. It's weird, like you control your hands independently, and like you need to be aware of how stamina each hand has. It's pretty hard. Like it took me like 2 hours and a half to complete the demo. That's how fucking stupid the game is. But it's also fantastic, in weird and charming ways. So yeah, say hi to him for me. Say help him getting strength to climb that weird ass tower with White Knuckle. And I'll see you guys next week for another edition of this show, the Fgeitas Show. Bye!